Library's drag queen storytime event shut down after lawsuit from Christians. After a lawsuit brought by Christian groups, a Louisiana library backed down from its educational drag queen storytime event. Two military-themed Christian organizations, Warriors for Christ and Special Forces of Liberty, filed the lawsuit. Before the library announced its decision, Delta Lambda Phi president Brad Parfait said that they had planned to rent a private space at the library to have drag queen storytime without the library's official backing. But when the library caught word of that, they shut it down.
What the hell? They shouldn't have backed down.
Well, yeah, it's a lawsuit that was filed. They basically didn't want to have them in there until the lawsuit was settled in court.
What was the lawsuit saying? What was their case?
They really have no case.
So
they're just saying
that. But what does it say?
They're saying that the drag queen storytime promotes the religion of secular humanism.
And wait, so why is that case not just thrown out of? Why is there even a court case? Like, why is there even a hearing? Isn't this ridiculous? Religion of
their attorney is claiming that the LGBT secular humanism is a religion.
Yeah, but so I know that's ridiculous. But why there's a judge that is actually spending time hearing this case? Like, why isn't it just not thrown out right away?
Well, it hasn't even been settled yet. It hasn't even been heard. It's just the lawsuit's been filed.
These people not only need to be laughed out of the court, they need to actually pay for the library's legal fees as well, whatever the library's expenses are.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, why is this not like, okay, so, you know, we see a lot of cases getting like a lot of attention because somebody somewhere used the wrong pronoun or somewhere. But why shouldn't this get more attention? I mean, this is clear discrimination, isn't it? I mean,
I think it's a violation of human rights.
I mean, it's one thing for you to be like, oh, this is like, you know, trans rights activism. Like some people claim, sometimes it goes overboard or not. But
everybody at this event was there from their own free will. It was not. I mean,
this is clear discrimination.
They weren't forcing it on anybody. They weren't walking down the street. You know, that they had their own, their own designated time that they had been doing this regularly.
No, but what I'm saying, but the point that I was trying to get at is that I'm hoping that every single transgender rights activist that has made a case about smaller stuff. I'm not saying those smaller stuff should have been an issue or not, but this seems like a mega case compared to the other stuff that people get offended about, right? Like if you are one of those people that were upset about those other things, I'm hoping that you're raising hell over this one. But Jim, what do you say to the people that are like, oh, why are you exposing my kids to this? This is brainwashing. Get your drag queens away from my kids. What would you say to that?
You're exposing your kid to reality. I don't want to expose my kid to your Confederate flag. I mean, but you know, some parts of the freedom of expression and the freedom of speech we're not going to agree with. But that's the great part about being in a country where you can express your own ideas that do not harm other individuals. But whenever you start impending on other people's natural rights, their life, their liberty, and their pursuit of happiness, these people were in a public space doing what they loved with people that loved watching them do it. And for somebody to come and shit on it was for nobody walked into the Warriors for Christ or the Jesus Louis Vuitton band, whatever their name is. It didn't walk up into their house or into their organization or their shed, wherever they organized in front of their burning cross, and try to promote transgenderism or cross-dressing or drag queen normalism or any of this bullshit. And they feel the need to go and go the extra mile and file a lawsuit, and that just shows you who the real snowflakes are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue transgender rights stuff with you, but these kids are definitely having fun.
It's not transgender. That was the wrong word to use. It's a drag queen.
Drag queen. Sorry. Yeah, I actually had this explained to me. Sorry about the miss. Yeah. So
drag queen. That was my fault.
Yeah. It's Jim's fault. But whatever your thoughts are on this, is these. I mean, they show up with really cool costumes. I'm pretty sure if they were people were showing up with the same costume but were not drag queens and were reading the same stories to their kids, nobody would have an issue with it, right? It's just because they're drag queens. But another point is that even if you are a Christian or a very right-wing person and you think this is not right or not scientific, or this is shouldn't be okay, don't you want to teach your kids that they should just be accepting of everybody? I mean, like, don't you? And
it's fun. It's fun. Like, if you go on YouTube and you watch this, they're great storytellers, and they dress up to do it, and it's great, and it's fun, and the kids are interacting. The kids are having fun. I mean, why? You go and you have no problem taking your kid to go to sit in a fat white man's lap that you don't know, and take a picture of your kid sitting in a strange man's lap. But it's strange for you to go and see a drag queen read some kids an innocent story.
Yeah. See, if you want to be angry about leftist indoctrination, I saw this is not what you get angry about. This is about just your kids being exposed to other people, different types of people, and being okay with all different types of people, and learning to love and enjoy the company of all kinds of people. Okay, if you really want to find leftist indoctrination of children to be angry about, there are stuff when they're teaching minority kids in schools that white people are always against them. There's there's systemic racism, and they will never, the whole world is always against them, right? And they're teaching them to blame all their failures on society. And never, that's the kind of brainwashing. Or if you're a girl, they're always teaching them that the society will always be against them, right? And that's not a good thing to teach people, because every time they fail, they always have this. They never try to improve. They always think my source of failure must be from somewhere else, right? And this is something that they actively now are teaching kids. And this is So a lot of people, when they hear us saying that this shouldn't be bad, they think like, oh, we're like regressive leftists. No, there are actual leftist propaganda being happening in school. Regressive leftists, again, not leftists, because we don't want to. Whenever we say we have to be careful. When you say right, if you criticize, we mean alt-right, not right. There's so many great people on the right, and there's so many great people on the left. We're talking about the regressive left. There is some shitty things happening in school, and they are teaching kids some shitty things based on their own ideology. But this is not one of them, okay? The kids are having fun. It's just a story time. Whatever you think about transgender stuff, you should agree that these people deserve to be loved. And you have to be compassionate towards other people, and your kids are learning the same thing. Go ahead.
Every Saturday, before I moved up here to the place I just moved in May. We would go to the mall, and we would walk around, because they would always have somebody playing the piano, or somebody doing some kind of an exhibition, and there was always multiple people there. And we'd walk around and see what everybody was doing, and there was always one person that would show up making balloon animals, and he stunk. He didn't even dress up like a clown. And he was just weird, and my daughter did not like him, and she loved going to the mall. But whenever we would go there and she would see the clown doing the balloons, she didn't want to go near him. And you know what? I didn't want her to go near him, so we would go on the other side. We would go and continue along our way. We didn't file a fucking lawsuit because our feelings were hurt that we didn't like the clown.
Yeah, but I mean, if you could, you're free to complain though. Like if these parents. If they I guess they're also free to file a lawsuit. It's just a ridiculous lawsuit, and I mean, I was also going to blame the library for giving in, but to be fair, the library probably doesn't have any money to be able to fight this shit, right? So, I mean, I don't know what the details behind this is, so maybe we shouldn't be just blaming the library for giving in without knowing what the difficulties behind all of this.
Right? No. I don't blame the library.
No, I was blaming the library
is doing what's necessary for their own survival, because with the lawsuit underway and with it not being finalized, it was probably advised by their legal team that they not host the story time.
I mean, they were
until the lawsuits.
Yeah, they're putting in a difficult position. I didn't say you were blaming the library. I said I originally was thinking that what the fuck happened? Why didn't you fight this, right? But these things, fighting really legal stuff really costs a lot of money. So I mean, this is a shitty thing they do, but they have a right to do it, right? I just hope it doesn't go anywhere, and I hope they just end up paying a lot of legal fees that goes nowhere for them, right? And I hope it sets a precedent for. I mean, I hope it doesn't. People can't like. Once this is settled, I hope it goes the drag queen's way, and I hope that because it sets a precedent, other people wouldn't be able to keep bringing on their own lawsuit because somebody set a precedent. I hope that's what happens. Let me see what the top comments are. This is going to be top comments. Tim is saying they'd rather have a pedophile do it. It's talking about a priest again. Not all priests are pedophiles, even though it's...
Jeez.
Yeah, okay.
That horse is dead. You guys can stop beating it, for real.
Elizabeth is saying, Christians ruining everyone's fun for the past 2,000 years. Stephen is saying, what could be more amazing to kids than being read stories by someone who looks as magical as the characters themselves? Yeah, I mean, the costumes are pretty fun, to be honest. As a kid, that would be amazing if somebody showed up with a costume like that at school. Jade is saying drag is performance art. Yeah, actually, it is performance. Drag queen doesn't mean transgender. It's more like it. These are not synonymous. It is a performance art. So yeah, Jade is saying not all transgender people are drag. It's not. Yeah. So drag is performance art. It's not about sexuality. Of course, drag queens performing in clubs and bars are going to adult up their routine. I don't know what that means, but this is no different than any other costume performer. And okay, so yeah, again, sorry for using these words interchangeably. There are some cis people that are drag queens, right? So again, educate us in the comments if we're correct or wrong about this. Some cis people are drag queens as well. TY is saying, I'm not Christian and I shut that shit down. Okay, so yeah, we have atheists that are also don't like this stuff. But yeah, so we already addressed that. Let me see. Okay, Muscal about this news. Public libraries are for everyone. The drag queens should stay. This is bigotry masquerading as religious concerns. Well, I mean, religious concerns are often bigotry. She continues, in my view, we should all be promoting secular humanists. Yep, we should. Wolf is saying, Ice Goddess is correct. Who's really making this a problem? What did Ice God said? Don't take your kids to drag. Don't take your kid to a drag queen story time. Yeah. Wait, none of these kids were forced to go, were they?
No.
What the hell? This makes it even more ridiculous than I even thought. Wait, this was... Yeah, you actually mentioned that. So I thought this was like a school taking all the kids.
No, this is not a school library.
These parents
this is a public library.
Fucking hell.
That parents... Yeah, like it's advertised to the community. If parents want to come, they bring their kids.
I should have paid more attention.
Most
of
the time,
the
parents are there.
This is even more ridiculous than I thought. So this wasn't even like the school taking all the kids to this place. This was like, hey, come bring your kids if you want. Don't bring them if you don't want.
It was just like going to the mall.
And they're still having a problem with it. Get the fuck out of here. What the hell? Okay. This is even... It was already ridiculous. Now it's even more ridiculous. Muscal is saying, I would love to hang out with drag queens. They seem to be very fun and enjoy life to its fullest.
They have great fashion.
Ice Goddess. I mean, honestly, anybody wearing interesting costumes is fun to have at any party. Ice Goddess is saying we will stop beating the horse when it stops getting back up. Yeah, but the horse that we're trying to stop beating is that, like, when people, as soon as you mention a priest, everybody assume that they're a child molester. that's we shouldn't overgeneralize like that. We can admit that it's a huge problem among priesthood. We can admit that there's also a bigger problem when it comes to covering it up by other priests, but we shouldn't go as far as saying priest, therefore child molester. Soraya,
yeah, because then what you do is you end up making them the victim, and it gives them plausible deniability, and they say, "Oh, well, that's just because I'm a priest. Everybody's saying that I'm a child molester."
Yeah. Soraya is saying, so drag queen is like cosplayers. Yeah, pretty much. I guess, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Atheists around the world are choosing to give voice to their opinions and no longer hide their lack of religious beliefs. In some cases, this public declaration of atheism can lead to backlash from friends and family. In other areas, it can even be physically dangerous to admit to atheism. Atheist Republic wants to give atheists a louder voice. Let's show them that we're listening, no matter which language they speak. If we reach 500 patrons, we will be able to translate our shows into Arabic, Spanish, Persian, Portuguese, Malay, Bengali, Urdu, Hindi, and other languages. Help us get there at patreon.com/atheistrepublic.